She texts, "You're the one I care about the most," then goes out with the guy who doesn't even text her back. If you still believe you're special, you're freezing yourself inside the friend zone. You text first. You're always there. You do everything a good boyfriend would, except she never calls you one. Not because you're lacking, but because you're out of place. A man out of place loses power. A man who stays becomes invisible. The friend zone isn't a place, it's a state of being. And if you stay there too long, you lose yourself. This video isn't here to comfort you, it's here to wake you up. There are 7 signs clear as daylight, but most men refuse to face them. See them early, you might reclaim your place. See them late, you become the invisible man in someone else's story. Start now. Watch each sign. No excuses, no lies to yourself. And if you see yourself in it, don't chase. Step out. Walk away. That's when she notices. Stay too long and she never will. 1. She treats you like a boyfriend, except for the love part. She calls you at 2 a.m. to cry about another man. You show up, no questions, no complaints. But in her heart, you're still just the nice guy. Ever felt that way? She texts, "My car just died. Can you help?" You rush out in the rain. She says, "I'm so stressed today. I just need someone to talk to." You listen, no judgment, and you think, "I'm scoring points." Sooner or later, she'll see it. The truth? She does see it, but she's not attracted. You're doing everything a boyfriend would do, except you're not her boyfriend. You're the driver, the therapist, the handyman, the guy who brings her meds when she's sick. But when the night falls, she doesn't crave your touch. She doesn't think of you as him. And here's the part that stings the most. She knows you have feelings for her, but she still leans on you because you let her. A man who gives without demand becomes a resource, not a choice. You're not a potential partner. You're emotional customer service. You're the guy who doesn't need to be pursued, but always picks up the call. You tell yourself you're playing the long game, that you're being patient, but you're being drained. Each day she gets used to your presence, but never feels the need to keep you. Biologically, long-term emotional comfort without sexual attraction leads to emotional desensitization. According to Harvard's Department of Psychology, when someone constantly receives emotional support without romantic tension, the brain's dopamine response begins to fade. The more you help, the more her brain associates you with calm comfort, but not desire. She feels safe with you because you act like her man, but without asking for anything back. And that's exactly what makes you lose gravity. You're sending the message, "I'll do everything just to be near you." And women, they might be moved, but being moved is not the same as being moved to feel. Move doesn't make the heart race. Move doesn't spark touch. Move doesn't make her stay. She'll keep calling, keep confiding, keep telling you about the guys who make her heart skip, while you're the one keeping her schedule on track. You're the calm, he's the chaos. But guess who she dreams about at night? And now, you've got one question to ask yourself. Who am I in her story? The giver or the chosen? Because if you can't make her choose you, then everything you do is just serving the one she does choose. Next, we'll talk about the even deadlier trap. When she thinks you're amazing, but says she just doesn't feel it. Why does that happen? And what do you do when you're the good guy, but not the guy who moves her soul? 2, she thinks you're great, but she's not moved. You're the kind of man I want to marry, but not the kind I want to fall in love with. Ever heard that line before? It sounds like a compliment, but it's the softest death sentence for a relationship that never got to begin. She thinks you're good, smart, kind, stable. She's fine grabbing dinner with you, talking for hours, leaning on you when she's low. But when she pictures the man she desires, she doesn't picture you. You're the logical choice. But love doesn't come from logic. It's born from instinct. Attraction is not built by logic. It's sparked by polarity. You're too balanced, too predictable. You give correctly, but never in a way that makes her choose you back. She feels safe with you, but never out of control around you. And because that feeling never comes, she doesn't fall. According to Dr. Helen Fisher, neuroscientist at Rutgers University, women are emotionally triggered by a mix of security and unpredictability. What's too predictable, the brain labels as safe, and it stops releasing dopamine. You always text on time. You always let her win. You never make her feel awkward. You think you're doing it right, but you're erasing the emotional waves between you. What's always steady stops being exciting. What's always available stops being valued. You're the perfect man on paper, but you leave no emotional imprint on her heart. You're the healthy meal she should eat, but love craves something spicy, messy, addictive. She respects you, but she dreams of someone else. And the cruel truth is, she's not wrong. You're not wrong. But attraction doesn't care about right or wrong. If she says you're amazing, but doesn't feel it, don't try to change her. Don't ask, what am I missing? Ask yourself, am I living in my core energy? Or am I performing a version of safe that she'll never crave? Attraction doesn't come from trying to impress. It comes from not needing to impress, yet still holding gravity. Lead. Don't impress. Stand. Don't convince. She doesn't feel moved because you never created motion. And if you keep yourself in the box of safe, kind, correct, she'll keep you there too, right on the edge of her emotions. And then something strange will happen. One day she'll meet a man who talks less than you, cares less than you, maybe even feels colder than you. But the moment his gaze lingers a second too long, she'll feel something you never made her feel, a thrill. You were her comfort, but you were never her aliveness. And when you stop being a feeling, you become a function, a safe option, but never the chosen one. So, stop trying to be perfect. Be real and magnetic. Have edges, have contrast, leave space for someone to wonder. Next, we'll walk into more dangerous territory, not just being unloved, but being turned into her second girlfriend. What happens when she tells you everything like a best friend, but gives her real feelings to someone else? 3. She treats you like her second girlfriend. Hey, I'm really down today. Do you think this outfit looks good? I can't decide on a lipstick shade. She tells you everything, from co-workers gossiping behind her back to the uneven pimples on her skin today. And you always listen. You're patient. You're kind. You show up the way a good man should, but in the role of her second girlfriend. She tells you everything, but never gives you the one thing you want, emotional intimacy. She doesn't filter herself when talking to you. She doesn't need to hold back. She sees you as her emotional safe zone, the place where all masks can come off, but also the place where she feels no need to impress. You're not the man she's careful to smile beautifully around, not the man she keeps just enough mystery with to feel exciting, not the man she thinks of when she wants to feel more attractive. You're a talking teddy bear, someone to hug when she's cold, but never the fire that makes her burn. According to the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, when a woman frequently shares non-sexual, emotionally intimate topics with a man, and there's no romantic tension, the bond solidifies as deep friendship, not emotional attraction. You become the one she leans on, but never the one she dreams about. You are her second girlfriend. She calls you when she's sad, lost, or just needs to feel heard. But when she gets dressed up, when her makeup is perfect, when she's posing in front of the mirror, she doesn't call you. You help her pick out dresses for the party, but you're not the man she wants to go with. You break down her crush's behavior like a seasoned girl best friend. The moment she feels too safe with you is the moment she stops seeing you as a man. You think you're building connection, but in truth, you're digging a deeper trench between friendship and love. You're proving to her you can be fully yourself without ever worrying I might want more. Sounds noble, but biologically, it's fatal because attraction doesn't live in absolute safety. It needs a touch of tension, a flicker of uncertainty, and sometimes an undefined boundary. She treats you like her therapist, not her lover. And the better you get at listening, the more reason she has to keep you there, never stepping across that line you silently hope for. So here's the question. Do you want to keep being the bearded bestie? Or do you want to return to your true form? The man she doesn't dare see as too easy to have, because losing you would scare her. Look closely. If everything she shares never stirs any romantic tension, then you're not the place where love is planted. You're just the place where emotions are dumped. And up next, we'll step into a darker corner. One many don't realize they've fallen into when she starts to test you, and you fail every single time. 4, she's testing you, and you keep failing. She stopped texting, and you panicked. She canceled last minute, and you said, "It's okay, as long as you're happy." She mentioned another man's name, and you just sat there asking, "What do I need to change so you'd choose me?" That's not a joke, not an accident. It's a test, and you failed. Again and again. She's not testing you to tease. She's testing to reveal your true worth, in her mind. She wants to know, if I take a step back, will he lose balance? If I go silent, will he beg for noise? If I praise someone else, will he lose his center? And every time you overreact, you send her this message. I'm afraid of losing you. I don't lead emotions. I'm led by them. You think you're showing care, but what you're really doing is lowering your gravity, because a woman isn't drawn to control. She's drawn to the one who can't be controlled. According to the Evolutionary Psychology Journal, women in potential relationships unconsciously test men through minor situations to gauge emotional stability and see who holds the frame. She doesn't test you to punish. She tests to see, are you the storm or the rock in it? These tests can look simple. She's online, but leaves your message unread. She bails on plans last minute, says she fell asleep. She brings up a close guy friend, one too many times. If you react instantly, with blame, control, sulking, she sees instability, no frame, nothing to follow. A grounded man doesn't rush. He observes, withdraws energy, and if needed, disappears, quietly, without warning. A stoic man doesn't argue when tested. He creates absence. She doesn't need you to read every thought. She needs to feel this, that even if she steps away, you still stand. That even if she tests, you remain you. No pleading, no spiraling, no pushing the game uphill, no blaming her, no hiding from truth. And here's what you etch into your soul. The more afraid a man is of losing, the more he gets tested. The man who's ready to lose rarely needs to pass a single test. You don't need to be an alpha showman. You just need to stop letting others dictate your value. The test is real, but how you respond defines your place in her eyes. You're being tested, not to be eliminated, but to see if you're the one who leads with strength or just follows feelings. And next, it gets clearer. No more subtle tests. She'll look you in the eye and ask, "Do you think he likes me?" That's part 5, when she asks your opinion about another man. And you realize you're no longer in the equation. 5, she asks for your opinion about another man. "Hey, I don't know if he likes me. What do you think? Would someone like him be right for me?" She asks you with that voice, software, trusting, and you, just like always, are ready to listen. You think it means something. You tell yourself, she's opening up to me about her love life. That must mean she trusts me, maybe even feels something for me. But no, she knows you like her. That's exactly why it's so easy for her to ask. When she asks about another man, she's not looking for advice. She's showing you that you're not that man. What you don't realize is this. Each question she throws at you about someone else is just another way to redraw the boundary between you. You're the guy she turns to for emotional analysis, not emotional connection. You've become the consultant, the unpaid therapist, the emotionally intelligent man. So intelligent, he doesn't get picked. She trusts you to guide her feelings for someone else because she doesn't feel those feelings for you. According to research from Harvard's Department of Human Relationships, when a woman shares romantic thoughts with a man she's not attracted to, it often reflects a psychological categorization. You're in the safe zone, emotionally neutral. I can say anything to you without ever thinking about how it makes you feel. You thought you were getting closer, but actually you're being pushed farther away. She tells you about him because she knows you won't react. You won't withdraw. You won't say no. You'll listen. You'll analyze. You'll hurt quietly, but you'll stay. You don't protect your boundary, so she keeps stepping over it. You don't speak your truth. You choose silence. You play the role of the one who understands. But men aren't desired for understanding. They're kept when they generate undeniable attraction. If you see yourself here, stop, observe yourself, and ask the question that hits the heart. Am I giving love advice to the very woman I'm in love with and calling it hope? It's not a chance. It's a quiet ending in a play that was never meant to include you. You can't spark attraction from the seat of the man she asks about someone else. Want to hold value? Want a real shot? Stop answering. Start disappearing. When she feels the absence of you, when that silence becomes an emotional vacuum, that's when things begin to shift. Not because you convinced her, but because you stopped being predictable, stopped being available, stopped being the place she dumps her thoughts about another man. And if you're still unsure whether she feels something, watch for this. She compliments you. She says you're good, but has she ever touched you? Next, we'll talk about the most dangerous compliment of all, when she praises you, but never once reaches for your hand. No lingering eye contact, no spark in the air, just words. Safe, harmless, cold. 6, she compliments you, but she never touches you. You're such a kind man. If I could fall for someone like you, my life might have been happier. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? It even gives you hope. But you need to stay sharp, because this isn't the start of a romance. It's the soundtrack to a soft goodbye. You don't lack compliments. You lack electricity in the air. You lack the hesitation in her eyes. You lack the accidental, yet intentional brush of skin. You lack biology, and biology can't be faked through words. She praises your character, but never steps into tension. She compliments you, but when you lean in, she subtly steps back. She laughs at your jokes, yet never holds eye contact longer than a glance. She hugs you, but it's the kind of hug you give a soft pillow, not the kind you give a man you don't want to let go. And here's the hardest part. You think you're getting closer, but in truth, you're being kept comfortably distant. No one compliments someone they're drawn to with a tone of pity. No one says, "You're a good guy," while battling a storm of feelings inside. They only say that when they've already decided not to fall. According to a 2020 study from the Stanford School of Social Psychology, relationships that are idealized in personality but lacking physical cues often fall into what's called non-reciprocal admiration. One admires, the other knows, but there's no mutual biological attraction. She respects you, but she doesn't dream about you. Touch isn't just skin to skin. Touch is when the gaze lingers. It's the silence between you that feels calm, not awkward. It's your presence that makes her fix her hair, take a breath, and shift a little closer. The man who stirs her heart doesn't need to ask for a hug. He just walks in, and the energy changes. But you have to ask for it. And when she hugs you, it feels like you're made of feathers. You don't need her to jump on you. But if she feels nothing in her body when you're near, you're not the one who stirs her tide. She compliments you, but doesn't touch. She likes you, but maintains space. She sees you as a good guy, but does everything to make sure you don't misread her kindness as desire. You're inside a glass cage of praise, beautiful, gentle, safe, but there's not a drop of hunger. You can't build love on compliments. You can't build connection on one-sided kindness. You can't force emotions with logic. Attraction doesn't need words, but when it's missing, no compliment can replace it. And if you're still wondering where you stand in her world, pay attention to this. How does she speak about you? when you're not around? How does she introduce you to others? If the answer sounds like, he's like family to me, then you already know. And that will be crystal clear in the next part. 7. She always says, you're like family to me. You're like family to me. It sounds close, but in truth, it's a quiet death sentence to any romantic hope. Who is family? It's someone you don't need to impress. No need to be mysterious, no fear of losing, no trace of sexual tension. When she says you're like family, she's not lying. She's just telling the truth you didn't want to hear. You're the one she trusts, the emotional anchor, a place she feels safe, because there's zero instinctual reason to keep distance. When she calls you family, she's telling you you're the one she doesn't need to impress. This isn't friendship that might grow into love. This is the desexualizing of the relationship. You're no longer seen as a man. You're a cousin, a brother, a sweet little buddy, or worse, a platonic soulmate. Some men think that's a deep connection. It's not. It's the kind that never evolves. Once she no longer sees you as a man, she can never unsee it. You think you still have a shot because she texts you, because she calls you when she's sad, because she says, only you understand me. But that's a bond that requires no emotional investment, no risk, no desire, no fear. She sends you pictures of her dress, but never asks, do you think I look sexy? Because she never needed you to feel that way. According to the psychology of interpersonal dynamics, Columbia University, when a woman places a man in the feels like family category, her brain shuts down the mate selection system. It means this: she doesn't see you as a candidate. You've become part of the emotional furniture. And the more you stay, the more respectful you are, the more patient you become, the more value you try to prove, the more she believes he's fine right here. He doesn't need more. You think you're moving closer, but you're frozen. This isn't the friend zone anymore. This is the family zone, and there is no exit unless you take it. She doesn't hate you. She just never saw you in that way, and she probably never will. You can stay, be the nice guy, be the safe space, or you can wake up, see your role for what it is, and start drawing the line. Because at this point, you don't need more signs. You need a decision. So, what should you do? You don't need more advice. You need a decision. Not a decision between having her or not, but a decision to choose yourself. To return to the man you lost when you started trying to be the nice guy who deserves love. You don't need to change to get her attention. You need to pull your energy so she feels the space you've left behind. No more texts, no more check-ins, no more sending this video hoping she'll get it. She gets it, and that's exactly why she's choosing not to move toward you. You don't change her mind by convincing. You change the game by walking away with dignity. So here's what you do. 1. Withdraw your energy completely, without warning. Not to run away, but to disconnect from the illusion and rebuild your core values. She's used to you always being there. Now she needs to feel your absence, not to win her back, but to reclaim your gravity. 2. Shift your focus from how to be loved to how to be unshakably whole. It's not about not caring. It's about not sacrificing your self-worth just to play a side role in someone else's story. 3. Reconstruct yourself, not for her, but because you've been leaking who you are. Revisit your personal goals. Reinforce your boundaries. Practice saying no. Disconnect from everything that fuels the illusion of closeness. A man who forgets himself to get someone always loses both. You don't need to win love. You need to win yourself back, the self that forgot. Your real value doesn't come from what you do for others. It comes from what you refuse to trade away just to be accepted. You are the axis, not the satellite. You are the mountain, not the man chasing weather. Stop proving, start removing. And when you disappear, silently, firmly, if she doesn't turn around, you'll know. You just walked out of a place you never belonged. And if she does turn around, you won't even need to ask, does she love me? Because this time, you'll be the one setting the terms. If you've made it this far, This isn't about her anymore. This is about the fight between you and the part of you that forgot your limits. Comment below, I choose gravity. If you're ready to withdraw your energy and return to being the man who doesn't need to be chosen to hold value. And if you want a full guide, step by step, on how to withdraw, disappear, and rebuild your position with wisdom and strength, comment continue below. We don't beg for love, we rebuild our essence. So love is no longer something to chase, but something drawn in by gravity. See you in the next video. And remember, if you have to beg for a place, it was never your place to begin with.